Hello everyone. It's February 2nd, 2025, exactly 2:36 a.m. Most of the DMs I've been receiving on Instagram are from people feeling lost. So I thought, why not talk about it? The most human feeling of all, being lost. Not the kind of lost where you miss an exit on the highway, but the kind that seeps into your soul, keeps you awake at 3 a.m. thinking, is this all there is? Wondering why everyone else seems to have a map while you're fumbling in the dark. But maybe that's the thing. Where did we even get the idea that we're supposed to have a map? Well, it happens that we live in a world obsessed with speed and certainty, where you're expected to have it all: your identity, your purpose, career, partner, figure out by a certain age. Stray from this path and you're branded a failure. But perhaps the real failure lies in mistaking haste for progress and certainty for wisdom. I wonder, since when did we start measuring the value of a soul against the ticking of the clock? We don't hurry the sun to rise nor push a tree to grow. The universe moves with a rhythm all its own, yet so many forget they are woven into that very fabric. You are but a thread in that same cosmic tapestry, and you will shine when it's your time, neither a moment too soon nor too late. You cannot rush it, nor can you delay it. And that obsession with certainty and perfection, the need to have it all figured out. Hello, human. In case you forgot, we are human, and imperfection is in our very nature. We don't need to have every piece in a place. That's an illusion. Whether you're 20 or 90, you are still figuring things out, and will be until your very last breath. Because, again, at the heart of it all, we are simply human. The French have a saying: La vie, ce n'est pas d'attendre que l'orage passe, c'est d'apprendre à danser sous la pluie. And that means life isn't about waiting for the storm to pass. It's about learning to dance in the rain. You see, even the language of love knows that growth happens in the storm. If you don't know who you are, what stirs your soul, or which path to follow, dare to try them all. Wander down different roads. Take each path that calls to you. Lose yourself in the journey, because that's the only way to find your way. The ancient Greeks understood this, so they built labyrinths, not to trap people, but to teach them. Pilgrims would walk those winding paths for hours, and just when they thought they were hopelessly lost, they would find themselves at the center. So what's the lesson here? The wrong turns are the path. Every detour, every stumble, every "why am I here" moment is a part of the journey. The Japanese call this Mayoi Michi, the path of wandering. It's not a mistake. It's part of your journey. It's the universe reminding you the longest way around is the shortest way home. Odysseus, the greatest hero of the Greek myth, wandered the seas for 10 years, lost and buried. Yet his odyssey became the stuff of legend. Why? Because being lost wasn't his failure, it was his education. But we're forgetting this wisdom. We've traded labyrinths for timelines and algorithms. We measure our worth against highlight reels of strangers' lives. But let me remind you, social media is a gallery of masks, not mirrors. Let me share a story with you. In the 13th century, the poet Rumi left his home in Turkey and wandered the deserts of Persia for years. He didn't have a plan. He didn't know he would become one of history's most beloved voices. He was just lost. But in that emptiness, he found a truth. He shared it with us when he said, "Where there is ruin, there is hope for treasure." So his greatest poems weren't born from certainty. They were carved from the ache of not knowing. And that's the paradox. The more lost you feel right now, the closer you are to something real. Every rejection, every heartache, and every what now moment isn't breaking you, it's shaping you. Just like Rumi, your wandering isn't meaningless. It's chiseling you into someone deeper, wiser, and more resilient. So what's holding you back? The fear. The fear of wasting time, of choosing wrong, of ending up alone. That's what holds you back. And it's totally okay to feel that way. It's normal. But here's the thing. What you have to know is that fear is not your enemy. It's your compass. You are afraid because you care. So instead of running from it, what if you leaned into it? Montaigne, the French philosopher, said, "Notre grand et glorieux chef-d'œuvre, c'est vivre à propos." Our masterpiece is living appropriately. Not perfectly, not according to script, just living. Living through the messy, unpredictable art of becoming. You might be thinking, what about them? They haven't figured out how did they get there. Let's talk about comparison, the thief of joy and time. Well, I want to remind you that comparison is the costliest trade you'll ever make, offering you nothing but your own downfall. Every moment you spend measuring your life against someone else's is a moment stolen from your own journey. When you fixate on another's path, you pause yours. You stop walking, you stop growing, and time, the most precious currency you have, slips away. The ancient Stoics called this the paradox of envy. The more you focus on what others have, the less you appreciate what's already yours. Comparison convinces you that your chapter 2 is less valuable than someone else's chapter 20. And oops, you're not even reading the same book. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You could live life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. In other words, time is finite. Why waste it chasing shadows?" I understand that social media makes escaping comparison feel impossible. Instagram, TikTok, the industries you keep consuming, they are designed to pull you in. So to break free, to return to the quiet truth of who you are, take a break for just 3 days. Uninstall Instagram, TikTok, and anything else that feeds this cycle. Step away from social media entirely. Spend time in nature. Do the things you love that don't require a screen. Just give your soul room to breathe, and you'll feel the difference. To close, let me tell you about the most humbling perspective shift humans have ever witnessed. The overview effect. When astronauts see Earth from space, national borders dissolve. Wars, deaths, and grudges shrink into invisibility. All that remains is a glowing blue marble suspended in darkness. A single fragile home for everyone and everything we have ever loved. But here's what moves me most. Many astronauts return haunted by a simple truth. They realize how much time they wasted obsessing over their place in a world that, from space, have no labels, no markers, just existence, raw and radiant. So what if you grant in yourself that same cosmic grace? Not the grace of having all the answers, that's an illusion, but the grace of awe. What if instead of begging the universe, "Tell me where I belong, bro," you said, "Thank you for letting me exist here at all." Because here is the miracle. You might feel lost, but from the universe vantage point, you're already found. You're here. You're alive. You are a collection of stardust and stories, mistakes and miracles. Ooh, look at me getting all poetic over here. But that's the truth. And speaking of poetry, the poet David Whyte writes, "Start close in. Don't take the second step before the first." So start here, in this breath. You don't need to know the whole path, just the next step. And if you forget everything else, remember this. The universe didn't rush to make you. It took 13.8 billion years of supernovas, collisions, and chaos to arrange itself into your heartbeat, your hands, and your hunger for meaning. So you're not lost, you're not late, you are right on time. Perdu? Peut-être, mais n'oublie pas, les étoiles les plus brillantes sont celles qui ont erré le plus longtemps dans la nuit. The brightest stars are those that wandered longest in the night. Always remember, not all who wander are lost. That's one of my favorite quotes. And yeah, thank you for watching, or better yet, for listening. There's nothing to watch here. I hope this brought you even a moment of peace and clarity. Wherever you are, may you have a beautiful day or a peaceful night. Take care and bye-bye.